There are 3 new faces to welcome to the Michelin Clio Cup Series paddock this weekend. Dan Kirby, Damien Hirst, and John Billingsley. 3 new faces added to the established guard sets things up for a great meeting at the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit in the Garden of England. Family and friends descend too, as this is a local circuit for many of the established names in the sport. But the weather has become the biggest talking point around the circuit. And it's getting every single team and driver on the grid asking exactly the same question. Will we need dry tyres or wet tyres? Calling the shots is going to be very difficult for each of the teams. For Ben Palmer and his crew, it could be the difference between a first visit to the rostrum and another also-ran weekend. The crew have done a fantastic job setting the car up as an independent unit, and they're starting to knock on the doors of the big boys. But as the dark clouds descend over Brands Hatch, timing is going to be critical. The drivers may laugh and joke, but they're all quite nervous. Nobody really knows what is going to happen. As the drivers take up their positions on the starting grid, James Dorlin shares the front row with Sam Randon. But the number 21 is about to get the mother of all starts. A lightning bolt off the grid, and Randon takes an early lead. In the Road Series race, Sarah Franklin has to watch and look on as Nick Harrison takes an early advantage. Jack Fabi and Damien Hirst are not far behind. But so far so good for Franklin, who needs a good result. Then, just when everyone's settling into a rhythm, the rain arrives. And boy does it arrive. Sam Randon loses his lead by hitting one white line on the run down to Graham Hill Bend. All that hard work at the start, gone in an instant. As the field flashes by, the rain gets so heavy that with everybody on slick tyres, it's eventually stopped. When the race is restarted, Damien Hirst found out just how treacherous the conditions were. In fact, his rivals threw in the towel after just one lap. The race would be red flagged again with a rerun later in the afternoon. Sunshiny day on a drying track meant again that the conditions were treacherous, as Sarah Franklin found out. It would be Brett Lidsey who would take the victory, but it left the field a lot to think about overnight. Sunday. A dry track, the sun is out, and clear, fast breezes. Perfect conditions for the Michelin Clio Cup Series. So there won't be any need for wet tyres, but the drivers and teams still don't really know what's going to happen. With so little dry track time through the weekend, it's a bit of a lottery again. With 2 young chargers at the front end of the field, Westbourne Motorsport have it all to do. James Dorlin has a championship lead to protect, and Sam Randon gets some much needed advice from James Colburn. It could end up being the most important conversation of the weekend. Another day, another race start. From Damien Hirst's car we can see how close it is in the Road Series as Jack Fabi races Nick Harrison to the first corner, Sarah Franklin slotting into third. Jack Fabi is momentarily in front, but Nick Harrison does the business on the inside line. From onboard Ben Palmer's car we can see that Tom Barley got the mother of all starts. But unfortunately, Dorlin and Randon were kind of in the way. Brett Lidsey wants to repeat on his fantastic victory yesterday in the mixed conditions. So he sets about getting past Tom Barley early. Ben Palmer has a front row seat. Round the outside at Druids? Surely not. On board with Sarah Franklin at the start, and her view of the battle between Harrison and Fabi is vivid. Harrison gets a beautiful choice move up the inside. But Sarah Franklin's day wouldn't last as long as she would like, as Damien Hirst caught the moment when her brakes decided to throw in the towel. She was very, very lucky. She wasn't the only Westbourne driver in trouble. Championship leader James Dorlin would have an electrical difficulty that would drop him down the field. So as Damien Hirst would be lapped, James Dorlin was notable by his absence. Sam Randon threw in the lead and well clear. Brett Lidsey, having fought his way through to second position, sweeps past Damien's car. And who would be next in line? Ben Palmer or Tom Barley? Well, after a meteoric effort from the crew, Ben Palmer is the one with the right equipment in the sunshine. And as we can see through the early stages of the race on board with Ben Palmer, he had a tough job to get there. Having all dealt with Tom Barley, James Dorlin threw in a very good fight until his car decided to cry wolf. But both Brett Lidsey and Ben Palmer would eventually find their way past when James Dorlin had his technical difficulties up at Druids. So Lidsey's second position gives him the championship lead, with Dorlin losing many points. For Damien Hirst, it's just great to be on the podium after a tough weekend for the crew. And his first weekend of 2016 reaps rewards. So it's a hearty well done on the podium to Damien Hirst coming home in third, Jack Fabi in second as the runner-up, and Nick Harrison, the winner of the Road Series race. Another fantastic battle in the championship, and Nick Harrison looking like he's got one hand on the championship trophy already. But it's not done yet. In the Race Series category, it's a great sight to see Ben Palmer pick up his first podium, and Brett Lidsey getting second position, now moving just into the lead of the championship. But the big moment is for Sam Randon, a worthy winner.
We had a terrible time here last year, really bad luck yesterday in the rain, and yeah, I felt the pressure all the way. Unfortunately I met every single road car pretty much in all the wrong places, so just allowed Brett to catch me more and more, but luckily, let's say, I managed to hold him off.
This is my home circuit, so glad to do it in front of all the sponsors, all the friends, the family. Nearly got him at the end of that race, was catching fast, but he deserved it. He's drove well this weekend, so no, it's good to get the win yesterday, and hopefully we can carry on and really get James near right down to the end of the championship.
It's been a long time coming. Can't keep up with Brett and you know, a few other guys in front, but yeah, we're definitely working on the car, trying to move forward, and hopefully we will be able to go there.
In motor racing, one man's joy is always another man's disappointment. So for some, it's back to the drawing board. For others, it's a chance to reflect on what they've achieved. But as the field moves on to Croft in North Yorkshire, the battle will be rejoined with gusto and vigour. So, thanks Brands Hatch once again for another great weekend. For now though, it's Sam Randon who gets to spend a moment or two in the limelight.
Young and old. Oh, for me. Another one. That's two in a day.